Now that's going to make for an interesting seed blend. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I've got a mix of all different kind of stuff I'm going to plant today, and it's going to be plenty of things I have never grown before. So this little experiment is going to be quite interesting for our summer annual plot that I'm going to plant here. Hey guys, Ben here with Stringer Bridge Farm. I've got the cows kind of in one of our silvo pasture kind of fields. You see all these big pretty live oaks. We just recently in the last couple of years cleared all the little Chinese tallow trees that were growing in and amongst all these. So what happens with that is I end up with these really rough pastures, a bunch of old stump holes, all kind of different problems. So I'm going to try to solve two problems here where we don't have any high protein summer grasses or legumes that persist through our hot summers. So we're going to plant some cowpeas and soybeans along with some sorghum Sudan grass and sunflowers and a couple other things I'll show you in just a minute. So we're going to plant that, and I really don't like tilling up my pastures, but like I said, these fields are so uneven. You can see all these old stumps where we've killed them. So I really wanted to lightly disc this field to help kind of level it. I'm gonna do kind of 1 or 2 acre sections at a time where I disc them lightly. We come back, we plant a mixture of summer annuals, some legumes, and then we're gonna put some perennial grass seeds in there too. So hopefully we end up with something left over at the end that'll persist for a while and hopefully smooth out our fields, improve the quality of the ground and the forage for the animals. And then hopefully we can get to a point where we are able to finish steers on grass a little bit beyond just our spring clover flush that we get up until about into May. So if we can get those cowpeas and soybeans going, that might extend our real high protein, real fast gaining period by a couple of months. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm gonna show you the seed mix and how I calculate how much of each seed I'm gonna plant in each pasture, and then I'll show you guys when I come out and plant it, and we'll follow the progress as these seeds grow. But anyway, let me go show you the seeds, and then I'll show you planting and how it grows. All right guys, so all my seeds came in. I've got a whole different variation of seeds. I've got some summer legumes, and then I've got some grasses, some sunflowers, some different things I'm gonna plant. And I'm gonna show you how I calculate what I'm gonna plant and how I figure it all out. So you can see here on the left, I've gone through all the seeds that I have that I'm going to plant in the different pastures. This is the recommended seeding rate for them. And then I'm gonna go through each particular pasture and decide. I'm gonna probably do some tests and test some various different mixes, but basically what I'm gonna be going for is somewhere around a 50% grass to 50% legume. For most of these tests, I may end up changing a little bit as I decide what I want. But basically I'm gonna go through and calculate what I want. So if the planting rate is, say, like for the sorghum Sudan grass, I'm gonna say 20 pounds per acre. And I know that I want 50% of that plot to be the grasses, and then only 50% out of that is going to be, again, the sorghum Sudan, which I'm going to call Sudex. So I'll multiply out that 20 pounds times the 1 acre plot times 0.5 for the grass allotment, and then again times 0.5 for the sorghum specific amount, and that comes out to 5 pounds. So that's what I did with each element I'm gonna put in this one particular plot. I've got a scale right here, so I'm gonna weigh them all out so I get pretty accurate results. I'll put them in a tub right there. See my little helper. And mix them up good, and then I'm gonna go out and plant them. And so I've got seed varieties for everything except the sunflower seeds. I actually couldn't get the seed quality sunflowers, but the lady on the phone told me, she said, if you go get the regular black oil sunflower seeds, she said what'll happen is the quality is just not as good, but that they'll actually grow and do pretty well, especially for cattle forage. So I'm gonna take her word on it. I'm gonna give it a try. If I don't get any kind of stand or anything worthwhile, I won't do it again. But for like $22, I figured it was worth trying. So I think she said they don't sort them by size either, so you get a mixture of sizes. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go through quick and measure out for this 1 acre plot. This is the first one I'm gonna plant. And then I got another one almost exact same size. I'm gonna plant probably the same day later this week. So I didn't go crazy plowing this field. I hit it with a light duty disc, and I got most of it. This field in particular, it actually had some decent grass growing on it. But the problem I had here was this field was so rough, it would literally rattle your bones when you were trying to mow or even drive over this section. So I really wanted to disc it just to help level it out a little bit, and then we're going to plant those annuals, and I got some perennial grasses mixed in as well. I'm gonna get this planted, and then I'm gonna cover the seed a little bit, and hopefully we can get some rain in the next few days and get this area growing again. So as you guys can probably see, I don't really have any fancy seed planting equipment. I just use a little 3-point spreader attachment after I disc the area up, and then I use an old cattle panel with a little bit of rebar to weigh it down just a little bit to help drag and cover the seeds after I'm done. So you can kind of see that here that I spread the seeds, and then I go around pulling that little drag, and it does a pretty good job of leveling out the ground, getting the seeds covered. There's not a whole lot of seed left exposed after you do this little process. So that seems to be what works out for me. I eventually do want to get a no-till drill, but they're quite expensive. So if I ever find a second-hand one within my price range, I'm going to go ahead and get that. But for now, I'm just going to use the equipment that I have. So I know you guys are wondering where you can get this fancy planting equipment from. So I've got one of these old cedars. I'm sure you could find one if you go rummage through the woods on an old abandoned farm. Of course, you got your old strap. Find those laying around in everybody's the back of their farm trucks. And then the cattle panel. You can go to Tractor Supply and offer up your firstborn child, and you could probably get one. Then I just attached a few little pieces of rebar to give it a little bit of weight, and it helps when you're dragging these pastures to break up some of the clods and cover the seed a little bit. I didn't want to go crazy and cover the seed super deep, so you can kind of see. I don't really see a whole lot of seed left up on the surface. You can see, like, here's a soybean that's on the surface. So, but the vast majority of it looks like it got covered up. So I don't see much, but like I said, this field, I really wanted to just get it kind of leveled out. We don't have any high protein summer grasses that persist in our area. So I'm hoping that by adding some of these summer annuals to a few acres of our property every year, we can really boost our protein in that late summer period. All right, so this is the second section I started planting. You can see got a couple big oak trees in it. I plowed up this area kind of the same where I lightly disked it, and I planted pretty much the same mix of seeds, except I made one modification, and that was I separated the soybeans, and I'm gonna plant them separate just so I can with all the other seeds, I wanted to be able to meter it a little bit slower. With the big seeds for these soybeans, I couldn't slow it down, so I had to go really fast and basically only make one pass. So like this, I was able to crisscross, make multiple passes with the smaller seeds, and then now I'm gonna spread out these soybeans and then cover them up by pulling that same little cattle panel drag. See how it works. All right, guys, I think that's gonna be a wrap for planting these two sections. Supposed to get some rain later this week, so hopefully we get more than just a drizzle. If we can get a 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch, something like that, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. And then ahead of the next rain, maybe the next 2-3 weeks, I'll work on planting a couple more sections like this. I know you can probably see this spot over here looks a little different. That's one of the spots where we had left a bale of hay over the winter, so we bale grazed right here. So I just disked over it, planted over it and drug it out a little bit, so it just kind of made it even bigger. There's really not much hay matted up, and this is from this winter, not last winter. So it's only a couple of months old and it's pretty well broken down already. So hopefully we can get a decent stand of some of these summer annuals. If not, hopefully some of our perennial grasses come back pretty quick. But yeah, this is all in an effort kind of to take care of two things. One is to help improve my pastures and level them a little bit, and then to extend our quality grazing by having some of these summer legumes in this mix with some sorghum, Sudan grass, and some millet and sunflowers and all kind of other things. So we'll see what does well, and we'll do more of that in the future. So anyway, hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.